tasked to repopulate an alien planet, and caught in their seductive alien women's world. The Arrival Protocol. The lavender skies of Xerion shimmered as Dr. Marcus Chen's shuttle descended through wispy clouds that smelled faintly of jasmine. His fingers drummed nervously against the viewport as the planet's 3 suns cast prismatic shadows across crystalline mountains. He'd accepted this xenobotany research position expecting groundbreaking science, not the breathtaking beauty that unfolded before him. Dr. Chen. A melodious voice drew his attention as the airlock hissed open. 3 women stood in the docking bay, each radiating a distinct presence that made his breath catch. The speaker, tall and graceful with skin that held subtle iridescent patterns, extended her hand. "I'm Talara, your diplomatic liaison. Welcome to Xerion." Her touch sent unexpected warmth through his palm, lingering a moment longer than necessary. Beside her, a woman with flowing auburn hair and mischievous eyes stepped forward. "Kyle, xenobiologist and your research partner," she said, her smile playful as she clasped both his hands in greeting, her thumbs tracing small circles on his wrists. "We've been eagerly awaiting someone with your expertise." The third woman observed quietly, her silver eyes holding depths Marcus couldn't fathom. "Vesa," she said simply when their gazes met, her voice like silk. "I'll guide you through our cultural protocols." When she touched his shoulder in greeting, the contact felt almost electric. "Your reputation precedes you," Talara said as they walked through corridors where bioluminescent vines created living art on the walls. "Your work on atmospheric plant adaptation could revolutionize our terraforming projects." She moved closer as they walked, her arm occasionally brushing his. Kyle laughed, the sound like wind chimes. "Talara's being modest. What we really need is fresh perspective, and fresh genetic material for our botanical programs." The way she said it, with that knowing look, made Marcus wonder if she meant only plants. They entered a garden dome where impossible flowers bloomed in spirals of color. Vesa plucked a blue blossom, tucking it behind Marcus's ear with intimate precision. "Xerion tradition," she explained, her fingers trailing down his jawline. "For honored guests." "Your quarters adjoin ours," Talara mentioned, gesturing to a suite surrounded by flowering terraces. "Xerion values closeness in collaboration." As the 3 suns set, casting the room in golden hues, Marcus realized this assignment would challenge more than just his scientific knowledge. The way they looked at him, with intelligence, interest, and something deeper, suggested Xerion had plans beyond botanical research. The Flowering Festival. The drums began at twilight, their rhythm pulsing through the crystalline amphitheater where hundreds of Xerionites gathered. Marcus adjusted the ceremonial robe Talara had helped him into earlier, her fingers lingering on his shoulders as she smoothed the fabric. "The Flowering Festival celebrates life's renewal," she explained, standing close enough that he could feel her warmth. "Tonight, you'll understand Xerion's true nature." Kyle appeared at his other side, wearing a dress that seemed woven from starlight itself. "Dance with me first," she asked, taking his hand without waiting for an answer. The crowd parted as she led him to the center, where bioluminescent petals fell like snow from the canopy above. The dance was unlike anything on Earth, intimate, flowing, with partners moving in spirals that brought them breathtakingly close before spinning apart. Kyle's body moved against his with practiced grace, her hands sliding along his arms, her breath warm against his neck during the closest passes. "You're learning quickly," she whispered, her lips nearly brushing his ear. When the music shifted, Vesa claimed him, her silver eyes holding mysteries. Her dancing style was more intense, passionate, with movements that felt like an ancient conversation between souls. She pressed her palm flat against his chest, feeling his heartbeat. "Your heart races," she observed softly. "Is it the dance, or something else?" "Both," Marcus admitted, surprised by his honesty. Vesa smiled, the first genuine smile he'd seen from her, and pulled him closer, their bodies fitting together as they moved. Later, Talara guided him to a secluded garden alcove where exotic flowers bloomed only at night, their petals glowing with soft phosphorescence. "There's something we should discuss," she said, sitting beside him on a bench carved from living wood. The space felt intimate, private. "Our planet faces a crisis," she continued, her hand finding his. "Our population has become genetically limited. We need diversity, not just in our plants, but in ourselves. Her thumb traced patterns on his palm. The festival celebrates fertility, renewal, and the joining of compatible souls. Kyle and Vesa joined them, one sitting on each side, creating a warm, encompassing presence. We chose you for more than your botanical expertise, Kyle admitted, her head resting on his shoulder. We chose you, Vesa added, her voice soft but certain, because when we reviewed candidates, something in your profile spoke to each of us differently. Her fingers intertwined with his free hand. The crystal caves. The hover transport glided silently over Zirian's purple grasslands as dawn broke across the horizon. Marcus sat between Kyle and Vesa, hyper-aware of every point of contact, Kyle's thigh pressed against his, Vesa's shoulder touching his arm. Talara piloted, occasionally glancing back with an enigmatic smile. The crystal caves contain our planet's memory, Talara explained as they descended into a canyon. Every emotional resonance, every moment of connection, is captured in the crystalline structures. The cave entrance breathed cool air that smelled of minerals and time. As they entered, Marcus gasped. Thousands of crystals lined the walls, each pulsing with different colors, creating a symphony of light that seemed to respond to their presence. Touch one, Vesa encouraged, guiding his hand to a deep blue crystal. The moment his fingers made contact, warmth flooded through him, not just physical, but emotional. He felt echoes of profound connections, love that transcended simple attraction. It's responding to you, Kyle observed with delight, moving behind him, her hands resting on his waist. The crystals only resonate with those capable of deep bonds. They ventured deeper, where underground pools reflected the crystal light like liquid stars. Talara suggested they rest, and they settled on smooth stone worn comfortable by ages of visitors. The intimacy of the space, surrounded by beauty and ancient energy, created an atmosphere thick with unspoken possibility. On Zirian, Talara began, her voice soft in the hushed cave, we don't believe in limiting love to single pairs. We believe hearts can hold multiple connections, each unique and valuable. She moved closer, her hand covering his where it rested on the stone. Kyle leaned against his back, her arms wrapping loosely around his shoulders. We've each felt drawn to you differently, she murmured near his ear. I'm attracted to your curiosity, your willingness to explore the unknown. I see your strength, Vesa added, sitting close on his other side, her fingers tracing abstract patterns on his knee. The way you approach challenges with both logic and intuition. And I, Talara said, her eyes meeting his directly, am moved by your gentleness, how you handle delicate things with such care. The crystals around them began pulsing in synchronization, creating a rhythm like a heartbeat. Marcus felt surrounded not just by their physical presence but by something deeper, an emotional resonance that the caves seemed to amplify. This is what we offer, Talara whispered, her forehead nearly touching his. Not just partnership in work, but in life, all of us, if you're willing. The storm sanctuary. The weather alert came suddenly, Talara's communicator flashing urgent warnings. Electromagnetic storm approaching, she announced, her usual calm tinged with concern. We need to reach the sanctuary. They ran through the increasingly violent winds, purple lightning crackling across the darkening sky. The sanctuary, an ancient structure built into the mountainside, appeared just as the first drops of luminescent rain began falling. Marcus helped seal the heavy doors behind them, his heart racing from more than just exertion. The interior was surprisingly warm, lit by bioluminescent moss that created a soft, golden glow. The main chamber contained cushioned alcoves and a central fire pit that Kyle quickly activated, filling the space with warmth and dancing shadows. These storms can last hours, Vesa said, removing her weather cloak, revealing the form-fitting suit beneath. The ancestors built these sanctuaries for travelers caught between settlements. They settled near the fire, sharing provisions from their packs. The storm's fury outside made the sanctuary feel even more intimate, like they existed in a bubble separate from the rest of the universe. Marcus found himself hyper-aware of every movement, every glance exchanged between them. Truth tradition, Kyle suggested with a mischievous smile. An old Zirian custom during storms, each person shares something they've never told anyone. Talara went first, her voice soft. I've dreamed of you since before you arrived. Not prophetic dreams, but longings. For someone who could see all of me, not just the diplomat. Her hand found his in the firelight. Vesa spoke next, uncharacteristically vulnerable. I fear feeling too much. My people train to control emotion, but with you. She paused, moving closer. Control seems less important than connection. Kael's confession came with typical directness. I've never wanted to share someone before. But watching you with Talara and Vesa doesn't make me jealous, it makes me want you more. She shifted, her leg pressing against his. The storm intensified outside, and they moved to one of the larger alcoves for safety from the occasional debris hitting the walls. The space required them to stay close, bodies naturally intertwining for warmth and comfort. Marcus felt Talara's heartbeat against his chest, Kael's breath on his neck, Vesa's fingers intertwined with his. Your turn, Vesa whispered, her silver eyes reflecting the firelight. Marcus took a breath, feeling the weight of 3 expectant gazes. I came here running from loneliness on Earth. Failed relationships, each ending because I apparently loved too much, wanted too deep a connection. His voice grew stronger. But here, with all of you, that intensity feels welcomed, matched, even. The choice of hearts. The morning after the storm found them in the colony's central garden, where 3 suns created a symphony of shadows through crystalline leaves. Marcus stood before the Council of Elders, but his attention kept drifting to Talara, Kael, and Vesa, who waited nearby. Dr. Chen, the lead elder began, her ancient eyes knowing, your botanical work has exceeded expectations. But Zirian offers you something more, a permanent position not just as a scientist, but as a genetic diversity consultant for our renewal program. The meaning was clear, though diplomatically stated. They wanted him to stay, to contribute to their population's revival, not through a laboratory, but through natural bonds with those who chose him. The choice is yours, the elder continued. But know that Talara, Kael, and Vesa have formally declared their intention to bond with you, should you accept. Later, in the privacy of Talara's terrace overlooking the violet sea, the 4 of them finally spoke freely. The 3 women had given him space to process, but Marcus could see the hope in their eyes. I need you to understand, Marcus said, his voice thick with emotion. On Earth, what you're offering, multiple partners, shared love, it's not widely accepted. I've never even imagined. But... Talara prompted gently, reading the conflict in his expression. But everything here feels right in a way nothing ever has before, he admitted. Each of you brings out something different in me. Talara, your wisdom and grace ground me. Kael, your joy and spontaneity free me. Vesa, your depth and mystery challenge me. Kael moved first, taking his hands. Then stay. Not for Zirian's program, but for us. For what we could build together. Vesa approached from behind, her arms encircling his waist. We don't need an answer today. But know that our feelings are real, not driven by duty. Talara cupped his face in her hands, her touch tender. Whether you stay a month or a lifetime, whether you choose one of us or all of us, or even none of us, you've already changed our world. Marcus pulled them all closer, feeling the rightness of their combined presence. I've spent my whole life studying how different species adapt and thrive together, he said softly. Maybe it's time I stopped studying and started living it. As the 3 suns set, painting the sky in impossible colors, they sealed their choice with gentle kisses, whispered promises, and the understanding that love, like life itself, could flourish in infinite varieties. The garden around them bloomed in response, as if Zirian itself celebrated their union. The end.